Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our NCAA 14 college football revamped series, as we have got a big time matchup today, as we will be facing off in the first game against the number 2 South Carolina Gamecocks. And this is a big one. Coming off our loss to Georgia, we are now 5-1 on the season. We're 1-1 in conference play. South Carolina is 4-0 in the conference and 6-0 overall as they lead the SEC East, our part of the conference. They lead us. This is big time, and especially with the game we have coming up. Right now, we're facing off against number 2 in the country, and in the next game, we have number 1 Alabama coming up. So we need a lot of momentum to head into this one and take us all the way through to the very next game. And this is going to be a tough one. The running game is going to be imperative to having any success, I think, overall, facing off against South Carolina. Our passing game has been shaky for the most part since we've gotten into conference play and against a lot of tougher teams. So we're going to have to obviously try to get a mix in, but I do still think the run game is going to have to be our primary weapon. So as we jump into this one, just under 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, Green is going to be in the shotgun here with a 1st and 10. So he rolls out to the right and fires it over the middle, finds Shane Swain for a big-time 19-yard gain over the middle to give him another 1st and 10. That was a big play for us, getting out into space and actually having some time to make a move on that one. As we are getting something going right now, our defense did make a good stop to start this one out. And this has been a pretty decent drive going on a couple minutes so far, and making big plays like that. We're going to have to do that all game to really try to have some success against this number 2 South Carolina defense. So now with another 1st and 10, going to be in the shotgun once again. Green gets the snap, and we fire it over to Hammond on the screen. He's got some space. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown, Brandon Hammond. We will take a 7-0 lead against the number 2 team in the nation on that screen pass executed flawlessly. Green getting the ball delivered on time, and Hammond with perfect open space in front of him. He had the speed to get in, and that would give us a 7-0 lead. Now, the rest of that quarter and the second quarter did not go the way we were planning on, as we now trail by 7 with a score of 14-7 here at the start of the third quarter. All right, this offense, we've thrown 2 interceptions. We've been shaky, to say the least, after that first offensive drive. We just haven't been able to do much of anything. Now, we did get a 7-yard gain on that pass play. So here for 2nd and 3, we hand it off to Hammond on the option. And Hammond's going to get 4 yards, and that's going to give us a 1st down. Even he's been pretty well limited in this one, with only 9 rushes for 36 yards so far in this game. A pretty standard 100-yard rusher is being held to only 36 at this point. So now with a 1st and 10 from the pistol formation, Green hands it off to Hammond up the middle. Has a pretty good big hole. Cuts it to the left. He's down to the 20, the 10, the 5. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Brandon Hammond. And we have got this one tied up on a big-time run right when we needed it to make something happen. Cut it out to the left at the perfect moment. And great blocking by a receiver on the edge as he sealed that one off, and Hammond, using his speed, gets us out there, and this game is now tied 14-14. Now, in the very next drive, we have got a chance to take the lead. We have the ball 1st and 10 from about the 15-yard line, but we've got an opening. We're going to throw the interception, and that's going to be a pick 6. That's been an issue for us. It was an issue against Georgia, and just Rob Petty, you got to give him credit. He stepped in, played the zone perfectly, and jumped that route, giving them now the lead. So here we are trying to play catch-up once again as they bring a safety blitz, but we do get the pass off to Lundy for a good 6-yard reception. And that becomes his 2nd reception only for about 17 yards on the day. And look at it, even here almost all the way through the third quarter, we still have less than 100 yards of passing offense. So this has been a struggle. It's now 2nd and 4. We do the option keeper. Pat Green all the way to the left side, powering through some people as he gets a good 5-yard rush. That would give us a first down and give Green 48 yards on the afternoon. So now with a brand new set, 1st and 10, coming off at about the 30-yard line. Green is going to be in the shotgun here. We have 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end in the slot position. Fires it over to Corey Lee, our big-time tight end, all over the middle as he makes a 15-yard reception. As he has 3 receptions for 32 yards on the day. He's been one of our more primary targets, at least for yardage. As you can see, we only have 107 passing yards altogether at this point. So now we're trying to play a little bit of catch-up here, still trailing by 7 as the third quarter gets ready to come to a close with just over 2 minutes. 1st and 10 from about the 15. Option keeper, Green up the middle, tries to make a man miss, but gets blasted at about the 6-yard line. As that was a 9-yard rush, but man, he paid for it big time. Getting just pushed right onto his keister. So that one will bring up 2nd and 1. Green is going to be in the shotgun once again. So you do run a little bit of play action. Green kind of rolls out to his right side, finds Corey Lee, who's going to push forward and get 0 yards for us. Our tight end normally pretty reliable at picking up at least a couple yards, but is held to 0 on that one. So we do have 3rd and 1 now from the 6-yard line. We can still get a first down. We do not have to score on this play, so that's a big deal. And we're going to go from the shotgun, hand it off to Hammond up the middle, and he's going to get stuffed big time. Right there, just ran into him, man, as that defensive tackle did his job. We would kick the field goal, and that would give us 17 points. Now, South Carolina would go down and score on our defense pretty effectively, and that time they're going to intercept that one. And we're going to finally try to get him down, but we just can't stop him until the 2-yard line. Our 4th interception on the game. Our defense, I've got to give them credit, man. 4 turnovers. So, yeah, we've allowed 31 points, but 4 turnovers has given them a bunch of short fields. We held them to a field goal on that drive. So now we're only trailing by 2 scores once again. And you'll notice, who do we have in at quarterback? We've brought in Javon Scott. Paul Green just wasn't doing it for us with too many interceptions being thrown. Just not very accurate, especially on the move. So Javon Scott's going to come in. He fires a big one over the middle. Sean Thomas cuts it to the left and is finally brought down after a 32-yard reception on that one. What a pass by Scott as he got that ball down the field, and he is keeping this offense moving. And so now with a brand new set coming in at about the 26-yard line, Javon Scott in the shotgun formation. We're going 4 wide on this one. Hammond in the backfield, offset to his right side. As he gets the snap and scans over, finds nobody, runs up the middle, and is going to get blasted after a gain of about 6 yards. It's about all you could really ask for from him on that one. Everything was covered up, and our line was about to break down. So now 2nd and 4 here at about the 22-yard line. Scott in the shotgun formation, once again 4 wide. As he's going to drop back, fires it over to Hammond over the middle, runs a man over, runs the second one down, and finally is tackled at about the 8-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 1st and goal now, trailing by 2 scores, just under 7 minutes to go. Javon Scott, our sophomore, trying to make something happen to bring us back. He did a pretty good job against Georgia getting us back in the game, lighting something up. This one, we're handing it off to Anthony Gray, and he stopped after a 7-yard rush at the 1. But Javon Scott just seems to be that little fire starter that we need whenever we call upon him. I don't think he's a full game starter just yet, but he's definitely there when we need him. And on that one, and that's why he's not a full game starter. We read the pressure, thought there would have been a hole, but just could not get anything opened up, and so we're brought down for a sack. Now, once again, going in the hurry-up formation, 3rd and goal, trailing by 2 scores. Scott going to scan the field, finds a hole. He's up at the middle in the end zone. Javon Scott, 4 yards for the touchdown as we cut their lead in half, as the score is now 31-24. And we're going to get a real quick turnover, ladies and gentlemen, on the kickoff. And this gives us another opportunity to tie this one up. Scott fires it over the middle, and that one's going to be dropped by Lundy. Really, that should have been caught. Hit off his hands, but he does drop it, so we're still trailing by 7. We are at the 3-yard line, though. Just 9 feet away from getting this game tied up against the number 2 team in the country. Scott in the shotgun formation. So he hands it off to Hammond up the middle. Hammond's going to breeze into the end zone easily, and this game is now tied up with just 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. And South Carolina would go down and score. Our defense is tired. I can't help that. They are just exhausted. And on that very next play, we're going to throw a horrible pass out to the left side coming off the play action. Try to hit Lee, our tight end, coming across the middle from the right to left, but just could not put anything accurately on. So now we have a 2nd and 10. Just under 3 minutes to go, trailing by 7. Scott fires it over to Hammond, who's going to try to run over the middle linebacker. They met head-to-head, and Hammond was obviously standing on the tracks as that train was coming through, and he gets knocked to the turf relatively easy. But we do have a brand new set of downs. 1st and 10, going in the hurry-up formation. Scott stands in the pocket, fires it over to Darrell Smith off to the left side for a 5-yard reception. This clock is still ticking. Darrell Smith been held in check with only 2 receptions for 13 yards on the day. And so now with a 2nd and 5 coming in about the 42-yard line, Scott's going to be in the shotgun once again, making some play calls. As he fires it over the middle to Shane Swain, who's going to power forward and pick up a 1st down and get to across the 50. As that 1st down will stop the clock until the chains get set. As we still are going in the hurry-up formation with 4 wide, with Hammond as our tailback. Now trying to get them separated and get some movement going on our guys. Scott's going to be in the shotgun. They bring the blitz. He rolls out to the right. There's no one open, so he's going to take it himself, and it will pick up a good 7 yards to give us a 2nd and 3. The clock is now sitting at 2 minutes, trailing by 7 here to South Carolina. So Javon Scott in the shotgun, calling these plays quick, getting things moving. Scanning over the field, gets the snap. He's scanning over, tries to make a run and trips over his own lineman. Got to be kidding me. Tripped over his own lineman's foot for the sack. 3rd and 5 now. There's just about a minute and a half will be left by the time we get this ball snapped as everybody gets set. And Scott gets the snap, scans over the field, fires it over to Sean Thomas, who's going to make a man miss and step out of bounds. That stops the clock. Thankfully, we were smart enough to get out of bounds. That was only our 4th 3rd down conversion on the afternoon. We just have not been very efficient up to this point. Now Scott, once again, keeping with the hurry-up pace. He's going to scan over the field. Finds Thomas on the slant. Makes a man miss. Thomas gets down the field to about the 16, 17-yard line after a 13-yard gain. And that's going to be another 1st down. Just under a minute and a half left. The clock is going to start up once those chains get set. As we're able to get our play called and we get the ball snapped, they bring the pressure. We fire it over to Shane Swain, who's going to get pushing forward, and that will bring up another 1st down for us as we now have a 1st and goal. Shane Swain with 45 yards receiving on the day up to this point. So just over a minute remaining, 7 yards from pay dirt as we make the play call here on the move, needing to go quick. We do still have 3 timeouts, but I don't want to use them just yet. Scott rolling out to his right, finds no one. He takes it himself, cuts it into the middle. He's into the end zone. This game is tied up once again. We will not quit. We will not go away as we are tied 38-38. And then after a quick little turnover, we have a chance once again. Scott now is going to throw a wide receiver screen to Sean Thomas, who gets moving down the field for a gain of about 7 yards. There's only just over 40 seconds left. We only need a field goal to win. So we are going to have to set this one up. I'm going to just run the ball and let the clock kind of roll out and use my final timeout, and we can kick a field goal at that point. As Hammond gets a 3-yard gain, we'll pick up the 1st down that we need. He does have a big day, 17 rushes for 125 yards on the afternoon. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what everything has led us to right now. We call the timeout, and here comes our field goal chance. We have made one only today. Not very good at it on the season, but done decent today. And the kick is up, and it's going to be good. We just defeated the number 2 team in the country on that field goal as time has expired. That was a monstrous win for us, and we can take this momentum going into the game against Alabama. Javon Scott, excellent performance to close this one out. I could not have asked more from that kid. He did just a fantastic job. Brandon Hammond, 125 yards on the day for 17 rushes, multiple touchdowns, receiving and rushing. You can't say anything better about this kid that hasn't been said already. That was absolutely a devastator for South Carolina, and we needed that to stay alive. Okay, we cannot afford any more losses on this season if we want to have a chance at an SEC title and then possibly a national title. So, here comes one of the big mountains we have got to climb. Here we are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, home of Forrest Gump, Bear Bryant, Nick Saban, some beast of college football. This is not going to be an easy task. It's one we can do, but we have got to limit our mistakes, right? Our pass offense, we are number 16, which is pretty surprising. Our rush offense is not, we only have one running back that we use, so it's not as high as it should be. The rushing touchdowns is more accurate description of how we run the ball on the field, as we are number 7 there. But this is a big-time game. Here we go. Here it is, the third Saturday in October, where the Vols are Rocky Top versus Roll Tide, as everything comes to a head right here. This type of game is what determines who's going to win the SEC, who's going to make it to now the college football playoff, who's going to make it to big-time bowl games. This game can ruin your season or it can make your season, one way or the other. And we are going to start out with the ball here at the beginning of this game, as we will have it at the 20-yard line, and Alabama brings the pressure, but we find Corey Lee over the middle with a big-time 17-yard reception, and that's what we need to have happen. Big plays like that, maintain possession, and we will get points, and we will keep the ball out of their hands. That's one of the biggest things that we can do. So now with the 1st and 10, coming in from the shotgun, Green hands it off to Hammond over to the left side. Good blocking. He's still on his feet, and he keeps going forward. Is finally brought down, but he's fumbled. You've got to be kidding me. Hammond fumbled the ball. We cannot make these mistakes. I've got to see if he was down. And it doesn't look like he was down. Oh, my God, the first mistake. I would have figured it would have been Paul Green with an interception. But Brandon Hammond fumbles it. And look at that. Just that quickly, Alabama scores a touchdown, and they have the lead. So now we have a lot of space to make up as we hand it off to Anthony Gray on that one with a big 13-yard rush to give us another first down at the 38-yard line. But that was the whole thing we needed to do. Prevent those types of mistakes that we could win. Now we put ourselves in a hole, and it's just time to dig ourselves out. So Green in the shotgun scans over the field, drifts off to his right side. Finally finds a man. Shane Swain over the right field, coming on the slant, not stopping his route one bit, and he will give us 19 yards on that one as he just continued across the field with us. We finally were able to deliver it to him. Paul Green puts it in his hands, and he's brought down quickly, but still gets a 19-yard reception. That is what we need on this type of game. That's the only way we can maintain and stick with them, is by making some of these big plays and avoiding big mistakes. So 1st and 10 coming in with the option keeper Paul Green is finally going to shake a man off. He's held down the left side for a gain of about 11 yards, as that's a big time rush, his first of the day, picking up a brand new set of downs. So here we are now with a brand new first and 10 at about the 34, 33-yard line of Alabama from the shotgun formation. Green, he gets a snap, scans over the field, doesn't have a whole lot of space to throw it into, and tries to hit Daryl Smith with it, but he gets blasted, and that ball comes flying out of his hands and will fall incomplete and give us a second and 10 now from the Alabama 33. So we come back to the line here. Try to spread them out wide with 3 wide receivers in the pistol formation. Hand it off to Hammond up the middle. Try to cut it out to the left side. There was just no space, and we get 3 yards on that rush, as we have 2 rushes for 17 yards for Hammond on the evening. Now this brings up 3rd and long, something we really wanted to avoid in this type of game, is having a 3rd and long. So here we go. Send our Hammond in motion. We got 3 receivers offset to our left side. Green, he's got the snap. Tries to make something happen. Every man was pretty well covered. At least I don't have the confidence in his arm strength to make those big throws. And so we are going to be brought down for a sack. Thankfully, it's only a loss of 3 yards. Kudos to their defensive tackle for getting off his block. Downside is we had to punt, and now Bama leads 14-0 here, as we are just starting out with the second quarter. Green's going to roll out to his right, tries to hit Hammond coming over on the little out pattern from the backfield, and just completely missed him. Paul Green, not the most accurate quarterback on the move when it comes to throwing. So now we have 2nd and 10. We go 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. Green scans over the field, fires it over to Gray, who's going to make the catch, comes down with it. That was almost intercepted. But instead, Anthony Gray gets a good 13-yard reception on that one, as we now have a new set of downs. Now, we're trailing 14-0. We need to get some form of points on the board. We've made a couple drives and have 6 first downs for this game compared to Alabama's 7. So we're right there in that area with them. But the first turnover and then just unable to finish the last drive, that really has hampered us big time. So here we are, trailing 14-0 with a 2nd and 2 coming out from the Crimson Tide 36-yard line. As we hand it to Hammond, big hole up the middle. Hammond's going to fight through and power forward all the way to about the 26-yard line, 25. As that's an 11-yard rushes. He's got 5 rushes for 33 yards on the day. A pretty good start to this one for Hammond. So Green's going to be in the shotgun once again. 2 wide receivers and a tight end. Or 3 wide receivers and a tight end, excuse me. And he fires it over to Smith, who had to come back to make the catch and to avoid the interception. I got to give Smith that one. He kind of saved this drive right there so far. But that is a gain of 0 yards, as we now have a 2nd and 10. Now Green from the shotgun once again, trying to make something happen. I'm pretty sure Bama's bringing the pressure. And they have their guys pretty well covered. But we get over to Shane Swain on the slant pattern, and he's going to make the catch, 14 yards, all the way down to about the 11-yard line. And we have a brand new set of downs. We have got some of the momentum starting to come our way. We just need to finish this one off. Green is 7 of 10 for 82 yards. So a decent day so far to this point. And on this pass play, he's going to roll out to his right, where he's going to chase us down. I really didn't think they were going to be able to catch us. But apparently Green is a lot slower than what I thought. Mike Brown, the outside end, I just assumed he looks fat. I figured he'd be slow, but apparently not. Should have assumed that, really, that he's a fast, fat guy and does play for Alabama, for God's sakes. So now 2nd and 21. Looking over the field, unable to escape, but we finally throw that one away after an awkward-looking throwaway pass. And that brings up 3rd and 21 now from the 22-yard line. And this is almost impossible against this Alabama offense, right? It just really is. And they're going to go with a big zone, dropping deep back. And we find Hammond on our left side after throwing a crappy pass to him. He's brought down, it said, for 0 yards, but we really got 1, is what I like to say. Now, we would be able to hold Alabama to a field goal on defense. So here comes our ensuing drive. Now we're trailing 17-0. Hammond gets a 5-yard rush. We are here in the third quarter at this point, still trailing 17-0. Hammond's got over 50 yards on the day, so I'm not too worried about him off his 9 rushes. Paul Green is just, I won't say he's played horribly, but just not able to finish these drives off, and that's becoming an issue in these big-time games. So trailing 17-0, we do get the pass out to Hammond, who gets it to about the 48, 49-yard line and gives us a brand new first down. As we will continue on this possession in a pistol formation, with an option handing it to Hammond up the middle, he's going to get good 6 yards on that one. He has 56 yards on the afternoon off of 10 rushes, averaging basically 5.5 yards per rush. So 2nd and 4 now from the Crimson Tide 45. Green is going to be in the shotgun once again. As we run a little bit of an option and misread that one, handed it to Anthony Gray. Probably could have kept it in all reality. But Gray makes the best out of it and gets him to about another 5 yards and leaves us with the 3rd and inches here. And this is a distressing type of call to have to try to make. Their defensive line is really good. We're only 3 for 7 on 3rd down conversions altogether today, but we do hand it to Hammond. He's got a big hole up the middle, and he still blows up a couple of Crimson Tide defenders as he makes a big-time run and gets us all the way down to about the 25-yard line and a brand new set of downs now. So 1st and 10 from the 26, actually, after a big-time rush by our running back, Brandon Hammond. I guess all conference is what he really should be. He should be in the Heisman race. He's not, but he should be. Now, Paul Green's going to escape a sack, and he's going to actually make some good yards. A 9-yard rush turned in what would have been about a 5-yard loss into a 9-yard gain. So a 2nd and 1 from the 17. And here we come to the line once again in the shotgun formation, 4 wide this time, as we have the snap. And Green fires it over the middle to Sean Thomas. Breaks a tackle, breaks another one, and is finally brought down at about the 10-yard line. These gains are only about 6 yards, but they are some of the most intense 6 yards I think we've had all season, is what I'll say to that. So now from about the 10-yard line, we are still at, actually, I guess 11 is what they'll call it. So we have a 1st and 10, and we're going to run it with Paul Green on the left side, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown, as we have cut their lead down to only 10 points on that option keeper. Paul Green followed his blockers all the way in, and we were able to go into their end zone untouched. That's just the best way you want to have things happen. Now our defense has stiffened up a little bit and not allowed Alabama to score. So we find ourselves here with a 2nd and 4 as we make a little bit of a move with it, and Paul Green's going to finally be brought down after a decent gain of about 6-7 yards and a brand new 1st and 10 from the 32. We're still only trailing by 10. So if we can get another score, a touchdown, and put it within 3 points, I think we may be able to make something happen here in the 4th quarter. And they're going to bring some pressure, and we fire it real quick as Paul Green's off his back foot, just not accurate at all. He's only got 173 yards on the day and has thrown 2 interceptions. So, that shows you the kind of night he's having. But now from the shotgun, once again, going with the option. Hand it off to Hammond up the middle, and he's going to get 6 yards when we really needed it, as that brings up a 3rd and manageable, as Hammond now has over 100 yards on the day. Could not ask for a better performance here facing off against this Crimson Tide defense. They are one tough beast. So now 3rd and 4, needing to get a first down to make something happen. Paul Green in the shotgun. He scans over the field, fires it, and that just was an ugly, ugly pass. I don't know what happened there. I guess it slipped out of his hand. That guy, I know, didn't do anything besides getting hit in the gut with it. That was just, I'm going to say it, disgraceful for any quarterback to throw. Hell, I could have made that throw outside of him and would have been a lot better. So now 4th and 4, we need this, trailing by 10. Green, scanning the field, rolls out to the right, and we try to throw it. I mean, we had no one open, nowhere to go with it, and they will actually stop us and unleash a scoring drought that just could not be stopped no matter what we did. We threw 2 interceptions. One of them was a pick six. Um, so Alabama scored after they stopped us. We threw an interception. They scored again, and then we threw a pick six. So, that's how you go down from being down 10 to being down, 31 points real quick. So that's where we are at. We did bring in Javon Scott because this game just got out of hand. We're going in the hurry up. Don't get me wrong. This is definitely trying to just get something to happen. But this was big old day of what I like to call humble pie. We just came off beating the number 2 team in the country, and there goes another interception. So we just beat the number 2 team in the country and facing off against the number 1, and we just looked completely outclassed. Our offense was about as inefficient as it could be, and there's just nothing that we could seem to do right. So we've got a long way to go. There's still a lot of football left in this season. We were 6-1 coming into this. We're now 6-2, so we have 4 games remaining here to finish out. We just need to try and finish this season strong after taking the shellacking. So now we know. Not only can we beat, but we can be humiliated. We can beat bad. We can be beat horribly. So that's kind of what we're going to have to start making a little bit of our focus on, is improving overall our offensive efficiency. All right, so we are going to get moving into the next game, and that will be in the next episode. So I will definitely catch up with y'all during that episode. All right. So if you have not hit the subscribe button, I will say go on ahead and hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you did like today's video, as it really does help out the channel, and we do greatly appreciate everything y'all do for us on that. So until next time, everybody, as always, stay safe, and, well, y'all know how it goes. Later, y'all.